Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we're back with another Veve and Ecomi video. And this one, we're going to be talking about something that's pretty big. I've been getting this question asked to me a lot. I've been seeing it a lot, and I want to start by saying, here's a disclaimer. This is not me losing hope in the project or anything like that. I just know that anytime you speak on some of the, I guess, more negative side of things, there's always people saying that, oh, look, even the influencers are giving up and things like that. You all know me. You all know that that's not going to happen. I do my research ahead of time so I don't get into a situation later on where something happens that I completely don't understand. So that's just the type of investor that I am. If I was to switch up like that, that means I didn't understand my investment to begin with, and that would be a serious problem for me as an investor, not even just about the project. I choose to live my life a certain way, so that would be more of an internal problem for me. But anyway, that being said, we're going to be talking about the thing that a lot of influencers, I guess, don't say, the people who are bullish, and no one's actually saying. I see so many people telling me, yo, do you think this collectible is going to go back to all-time high? Do you think that this is going to hit 10,000? Do you think that that will hit 5,000? So I wanted to address those type of questions and those type of concerns because I feel like a lot of people are, I guess, they have false hope in some things, or what's probably going to end up being false hope. So yeah, that being said, y'all, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. But jumping straight into it, I don't think that every collectible goes back to the points they were at all-time high. I don't think it has anything to do with the bots, anything to do with the artificial pumps or anything like that. I just think that you have to understand the time that we were in. We were on Veve collecting during a time where there wasn't really much to choose from. There wasn't a large product offering on Veve. So you could see things like Mormocornos and stuff like that start to go up simply because there was nothing else to buy. Like what was the alternative? If you couldn't afford one thing, you would go and grab a Mormocorno just to get your collection up. Then when the Master Collector program started coming, and then the points and stuff, the point system was announced, then people start buying things just to get the points. It was a lot of things that boosted that. So for instance, instead of buying a Mormocorno to get these amount of points, there's more than likely going to be a bunch of other bigger name brand products where you could buy all those and get even more points or equal amount of points. At that point in time, what are you going to buy? Are you going to buy a Mormocorno, or are you going to buy the whatever name brand thing that this is that's going to give you the same amount of points? So that means it's going to come down to a choice between a Mormocorno and this, or a Kripken and that. And obviously this random stuff is not going to do as well as it has done in the past, in my opinion. Now keep in mind, all of this is my opinion. This is just how I see it. I think that we're going to have many more name brand things. And then honestly, it's going to get to the point where I think that the bigger grails, like a lot of season 1 stuff and things like that, will probably reach their all-time highs and probably, you know, surpass that. I think that we will have a lot of stuff in Veve that does surpass what it has done before. But I think that a lot will not, because there's so much more product offering. Now, at the point where they actually secure 50 million people and 100 million people, anything is liable to just blow up. But then again, it depends, because is Veve going to hit that many people? Or is the Veveverse going to hit that many people? Because those are two different entities. Keep that in mind. So Veve is an app for collectors. The Veveverse is for everyone. It's a metaverse for anyone in the world where it'll have jobs. You'll be able to work in the Veveverse. You'll be able to you know, collect. You'll be able to play games. You'll be able to do all types of stuff. So just having a massive Veveverse doesn't necessarily mean that Veve itself is going to become that massive. So are we ever going to see 50 million people on Veve itself, as opposed to people being in the Veveverse? Because the way that I'm thinking that it's probably going to work is that Veve is going to be the collector's app where we buy the assets, and then we'll be able to take our assets over into the Veveverse, which is where we will be able to rent them to people who just want to play in the Veveverse. They want a cool skin. They want to do this. They want to utilize this feature. We'll be renting to Veveverse people more than likely. So, and I don't think that those are just going to be the same. I think that we could have a lot of people in the Veveverse who never even touched the Veve app. unless there's some type of requirement to do so, which I think that just adds another level of complications to it. So I don't know why that would be a thing, but who knows? Like, I don't know how they're going to design the system to work. If they do make it so everyone has to go through Veve to access the Veveverse, then they have to do it in a way where it's a seamless thing where it doesn't seem like they're doing too much. Like you can buy Call of Duty, buy Fortnite, download the game, and when it's done downloading, you can just hop on. Like even the games where you have to sign up on like battle.net and stuff like that, that's pretty annoying trying to play those games. So I wouldn't want some huge wall preventing people from just getting a quick, simple experience and getting to enjoying stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's just really, it really depends, man. It really depends. But yeah, that being said, I think that a lot of people who have just been collecting random things is going to lose a lot of money. They're going to lose a lot of money if you've been collecting some random things, thinking that, oh, this hit that in the past. Like for instance, I don't want to single out any particular collectible, but the reason that you wouldn't see me stacking a bunch of Invisible Womans is because since Invisible Woman has been released, how many more grails have we got? What happens when anime comes? What happens when we have Naruto, One Piece? What happens when we have all this? What happens when we have basketball, football? What happens when we have vehicles? Are people still going to be putting that capital into one of the irrelevant superheroes? Like, I mean, yes, you're still going to have collectors who are actually fans of Invisible Woman. You're going to have those people who want to collect it. But what's really going to drive value to these NFTs that's not really desirable in the grand scheme of things, once there's all this IP, once there's all this stuff on Veve, what's really going to drive this value is going to be the utility tied to it. That's what's going to be the biggest overall value driver when it comes down to Veve. It's going to be utility. But we have no idea where they're going to go with utility, what type of utilities they're going to have. Is everything going to be stuff that people want to actually use? They could come out with some trash utility because they've never done utility before. So what if they start releasing some utility that's not very good? Like, we don't know what the future of utility looks like. So is it actually going to be something that makes people want to stop and actually buy this collectible? Or would they still rather just have the Spider-Man, one of the multiple different Spider-Mans? Because honestly, I would rather have Spider-Man number 5 than Invisible Woman. I would rather have Spider-Man number 5 than Invisible Woman. But that's just me, you know? So I think that some things is going to be like that, where people are collecting out of speculation, like, oh, let me look at the numbers. So this reached this during a bull run, so it should at least get back there. That logic I don't think works. I don't think it applies to everything. It doesn't apply to everything, in my opinion. Because yeah, like I don't think Kripkins go crazy. I don't think, unless there's some type of utility where you can breed, there's a whole mini game or something that comes with it. Like there needs to be certain things to happen to bring value to the collectible. So I think that we're moving past the JPEG age where people are just putting things worth millions just because it's got the word NFT attached to it. I think that where we're going into the future is going to be like, you actually have to be bringing this amount of value for it to be worth this much, for people to be willing to pay this much. And that's what I think that we're moving towards. I think that most, if not all, NFTs are going to come with utility, because those that do not, there's not really going to be a purpose in holding it. I mean, there's always going to be that purpose there for collectors. Like, collectors invest based on history, based on a natural understanding of what makes something valuable, why collectors as a whole think that is valuable. Basically, collectors are the ones giving collectibles value. Like, the fact that you're willing to pay for something's history, you appreciate it that much, that's just the type of person you are. But don't expect everyone in the world to be those type of people. So we get 50 million or 100 million people on the app. Don't think that they're going to have that same respect for collecting that you do if you're a true collector. Like, so when it comes down to people, those of us who are here truly to just only make a profit, we're not really collectors at heart and things like that. Like, when it comes down to those type of people, this just some, background footage, y'all. But yeah, like, when it comes down to those type of people, like, don't don't just assume that things is going to go up when Veve blows up and stuff like that. There's going to still have Veve has to answer a few key questions that no one is asking. The incentive. We need to know what the incentive is going to be for people to buy our collectibles from us if they're not a collector. We need to know the incentives of people to rent these NFTs, because that's going to be an incentive for people to pay more. Like, so a collector is going to pay more money if they can rent it for more money. See what I'm saying? So if there's one collectible that comes with a ton of utility in the Veveverse, and people in the Veveverse are buying it or are renting this collectible a lot, that is now leveraged to charge more for your collectible, because this person can now make more from residual income from that collectible. So now you have a more valuable item. So we don't understand how Veve is going to go about doing all of this. We don't know their approach to any of this. So yeah, there's a lot of different variables to take into consideration when it comes down to valuing things in the metaverse. And there's just so much information that we don't know. I think that people are so focused on market prices right now and things like that, that people miss the big picture and asking the important questions. No one is actually asking about these things that's really going to determine the long-term values. People are so focused on their vault value now and things like that, that they're not really, thinking towards the future. This is all very, very important stuff if you really want to try to determine what the value of certain things is going to be and if certain things are worth collecting right now. And this is not information that Veve is just going to come out and willingly just share out of nowhere. That way people stop collecting one thing. Like, no, if they want you to really buy whatever you want to buy, and they may or may not come with utility. Like, does it make sense that will the hoverboards and stuff really be drivable? Like, we know the vehicles are drivable, but will the hoverboards be? Will the little skateboards that they added in be drivable? There's a lot of information that we need. What type of, are there going to be like skate parks and theme parks? Would there ever be something like that in the Veveverse? There are certain questions that never get asked that's really going to determine values of some of these collectibles. Will the decon things come with their own different forms of utility? We see that even companies that Quid are partnering with, they drop NFTs through Quid, and then they make whole games based around these. You can say what you want about Quid, but Quid is getting some pretty significant partners when it comes down to actually adding utility. I think what's they call, like Satoshiverse or something like that. And this video is not sponsored, by the way, so I can mispronounce their names. I like, it doesn't matter. But yeah, like, so that being said, I think that if people don't change their mindsets in this community when it comes down to what you collect, especially if you're here only for money, when it comes down to what you collect, how you think about what you collect, and how you approach what you collect, people are going to miss out on a lot of money. People are going to lose a lot of money investing in the wrong things. Like, just because something cheap doesn't make it valuable. This is why my investment strategy is more on the safer side, where I have mainly true grails. I stick to mainly true grails because I'm not going to invest in something on the speculation that something like it's going to be valuable in the metaverse. Outside of the Marvel Mighties and things like that. But then again, a lot of the Marvel Mighties are first appearances too, so it's a much less of a gamble as well. So yeah, you wouldn't see me investing in certain things. Like it's just not the type of investor that I am personally. So let me know what you all think. Let me know how you all feel about it. I definitely want to know your opinions down in the comment section below. I want to know how you feel about it. What do you think is going to be a determining factor of value? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And why you agree or disagree? Definitely want to hear some thoughts, hear some conversations based around this. And I would love to hear people asking better questions when it comes down to the community, outside of the same stuff. Win Pokemon, win this, win that stuff. Like, when it's done. Like, when it's done. Every question that gets asked, when it's done, bro. Like, why y'all asking the same questions for 2 years, bro? When it's done, that's when it's going to be available to you. It's like, bro, ask something that's going to make us some money, bro. But, hey, I digress. Let me know what y'all think. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace out, Joe.